crushed the Spurs by 39 points last night. And you know what? That turned out to be a footnote to the bigger story, which was Kevin Durant. His post-game press conference, the first he's agreed to do in the last 8 days, lasted only 3.5 minutes. Took a turn for the worse when he was peppered with questions about his impending free agency. Take a listen to Kevin Durant.
We've noticed that you hadn't talked for a while. Is it anything to do with anything on your mind, or has it just been coincidence that you haven't talked for some time?
Why do you care?
Because you usually talk.
Oh, well, I didn't feel like talking the last couple of days.
It was anything in particular?
No, I just didn't feel like it.
Has anything to do with conversation about free agency?
Yeah, that's the conversation you're going to have. I don't think about that type of stuff. That's your job.
You've obviously been around the noise for so long. Is it bothering you more this year? Is it louder this year?
It's unnecessary. You got to do Ethan Strauss, who come in here and just give his whole opinion on stuff and make it seem like it's coming from me. And he just walk around here, don't talk to nobody, just walk in here and survey and then write something like that. And now y'all piling on me because I don't want to talk to y'all about that. I have nothing to do with the Knicks. I don't know who traded Porzingis. They got nothing to do with me. I'm trying to play basketball. Y'all come in here every day, ask me about free agency, ask my teammates, my coaches. You rile up the fans about it. Y'all let us play basketball. That's all I'm saying. And now when I don't want to talk to y'all, it's a problem with me. Come on, man. Grow up. Grow up. Yeah, you grow up. Come on, bro. I come in here and go to work every day. I don't cause no problems. I play the right way. Or I try to play the right way. I try to be the best player I can be every possession. What's the problem? What am I doing to y'all?
You weren't talking. You weren't talking to the media.
So? Who are you? Why do I got to talk to you? Tell me. Is that going to help me do my job better? Nah, bro. I didn't feel like talking.
I mean, how are you playing? How's the team playing in the last couple weeks?
I'm done. You know you don't care about that.
I just asked you.
I wish you could. CeCe had a facial expression for every comment that Durant made. But what was your overall reaction to what KD had to say, C?
I mean, I'm not surprised by KD. I'm surprised that one of our elite athletes in one of the sports that we love doesn't understand the push-pull, the economics that go along with covering the NBA. Like, the NBA's, I mean, it's been a pleasure of mine to be around the NBA for a long time. Longer than Kevin Durant's been alive. And Nick, we talked about this earlier. This is the best day in the NBA. That's today. Yeah. Where guys are mega rich. They got mega power. With the power of social media and people following them and everything, they march to their own. What do they need?
And when you said this day today, you were being figurative. I thought you meant literally this day on the calendar, because the transaction right now is more suspense than the postseason. And so trade deadline day, the better day is July 1. Once upon a time, the finals were the best days. KD and the Warriors ended that last few years. So now the best day is today. And then July 1st. Sorry, I mean, you know, so for me, I like to get into, there's certain requirements to do your job. All right, and this KD, the contract that he signed, I know he didn't read it, but if you read it, there's a certain number of media obligations that are going to be in there. Now, is the media supposed to care about you? No, they don't care about you, Kevin Durant, because if you happen to tear up your knee and you can't play basketball, they're going to be writing about the next guy. So, no, they're not supposed to care about you, but there is a certain responsibility with KD. Now, is the athlete, as far as the scrutiny and some of the things KD that he's saying, yeah, there is a smidgen of truth, but there's a certain responsibility for people like KD to continue to promote the game of basketball so that guys like myself, I think I know a lot about basketball, but I learn more when guys like him speak about basketball because they know more basketball than I do. So it's part of your responsibility to continue to promote this game worldwide. The game is more popular worldwide than any other time in my lifetime, and you're benefiting from that. So do your part. LeBron's got a part, Steph's got a part, Harden's got a part. Now, is that the same as other players who aren't top 10 players? No, it's not the same. It's not equal responsibility in this, but we expect our best players
to be able to promote the game and grow the game of basketball. The NBA will be better when this generation of players leaves because they've changed the paradigm as far as the power structure that goes on. And Kevin Durant and other players are part of that.
The empathy I feel for KD, and the only part of it is that he's been doing this since 15-16, where basically last year in Oklahoma City, he has had to answer question after question about his future. The reality is, though, he signed these short-term contracts. And by doing that, he gave himself a substantial amount of power. He was able to dictate some things. He could push organizations a certain way. The fallout from that, though, is this. Every year, you have to deal with questions.
Haven't we had another megastar do something like that? Didn't he sign a whole bunch of small deals?
And he dealt with the questions.
No. He went about this different. What did LeBron say during the season?
Talk to me July 1st.
Okay. Has KD done that?
He has not.
Okay, so they signed the same type of deals.
Right, but I think you guys are in agreement.
Yeah,
you guys are in agreement here that Kevin Durant has signed up for this, and there's a level of self-awareness that he just shockingly lacks. First of all, one of the reasons that all of a sudden, for the first time, because they hadn't been peppering him about free agency, but they didn't talk for a week and a half, and people wondered, well, did that have something to do with the fact that the Knicks open up max cap space? And by the way, Kevin Durant a few weeks ago was in New York, and New York media asked him about free agency, and he was cordial and happy as anybody. Not so much last night. And the reason last night, and the reason he called out Ethan Strauss, who is an excellent reporter, who has covered that team longer than Durant has been there, by the way, and who absolutely has sources, is not just speculating, is because he included in that article that Durant has been upset since 2017, that people haven't said he's the best player. And he included something in there that I thought was pretty interesting, which is accurate, but I'm sure burns Durant as well, which is Nike doesn't even consider him the best player. Nike got Durant and LeBron. Nike could just decide he is the best player, but damned everybody else. They haven't. And so that's why he was so irritated last night. But this is one of the things that has happened. You mentioned 2016, Mannix, and there was speculation he had to deal with, but it wasn't deafening the way it is now. Because in 2016, a lot of the coverage of the NBA season was about the NBA season. There was more, could the Warriors repeat? Is LeBron ever going to win a title in Cleveland?
That does put more, yes.
Is Durant going to get over the hump? There was real intrigue and suspense. The last few years, you know what the intrigue and suspense has been? When the Warriors going to give us the league back? When are we going to be able to have interest about the finals? And so part of that, and more power to him, and how great of a player he is that his decision tilted the balance like that. But of course, we're going to be more interested in the offseason because we already know how this story ends. We want to see how the next one is going to begin. Like, that's part of it. And it wouldn't have shocked me right there, it seemed to me, if he would said, why do they even put the games on TV? Let us play, and then we'll tell you who won. Let me go to the gym. Like, there's a reason the NBA is not hockey. Because people are interested in the stars. They're interested in the storylines, the drama. There's a soap opera aspect that makes these guys richer, that makes the game more popular. Everyone seems, even if they hate it, to understand that's part of the deal.
I do think, though, even if the league starts to balance out and it doesn't become the Warriors' world, the interest in transactions and things happening in off season is not going anywhere. It's at a it's peaking right now, but I don't think it's ever going to go back to like a 14, 15, 15, 16 type of level. It's going to be this year, it's Kevin Durant. Next year, it's Anthony Davis. The year after that, it's Giannis. I mean, there is going to be player after player that deals with. That's just a reality. And the other reality, as I said, it just gets ratchet up tenfold when you keep signing these short-term contracts and you give teams or people reason to believe that you're not committed to that organization. Does anybody sitting at this table believe that even though Kevin Durant signed a short-term contract, he's committed to the Golden State Warriors?
No, we don't believe that. And part of the reason why is what one of his teammates told him, Draymond. Like, we still can't get beyond that. When you have a guy in your huddle tell you during the game you can leave right now. So it's not only the questions that they're asking KD. It's the whole story that's been told, and he hasn't been able to eliminate it by saying, I'm only going to talk about free agency when free agency arrives. And that's been one of the problems.
By the way, the NBA loves this.
Of
like they may
course.
be like they may wring their hands and talk about.
They did. They stole my show.
They took
We're supposed to be talking football.
Monday morning. Anthony Davis.
Yeah, Elements in the Hall of Fame, man.
And the other part of this is, guess what? Chris Middleton's a pending free agent. Where's all the Chris Middleton buzz? Oh, wait. And that's a good player on the best team in the league. But Chris Middleton doesn't make the money Kevin Durant does. Doesn't have the shoe contract Kevin Durant does. Doesn't have the popularity, the out-of-basketball opportunities Kevin Durant does. And now what he does get, his life's a little less stressful. You can argue there is like the perfect window of the Klay Thompson, who gets the max contract, gets the accolades, and can kind of fly beneath the radar. But when you are one of the most prominent athletes in the world, of which Kevin Durant is, and that benefits you so often, part of it is and this is where he's self-inflicted wounds. If he just said, hey, guys, I know the Knicks traded Chris Stapps, a lot of speculation. I'm focused, as I've been telling you, on winning the title. We won by 40 tonight. Anyone want to ask me about tonight, I'd love to do it. Did you read Ethan's article? Nah. I missed Ethan's article. I'll read it tonight. You know, whatever. Anything about the game? We won by 39 guys against a playoff team. Anybody care about that? You can even be brusque and do that. The only reason we're talking about him today is because he made us talk about him today.
You're right. Lack of self-awareness. Chris, thanks for coming in today.
It's weird being on the same page in the last segment.
I feel so much better.
I was on
We got some good
defense.
stuff for you next time. Man.
I was on defense for like 2 seconds.
Coming up, what's more likely for the Lakers, getting AD or missing the playoffs? We'll talk about that next.